Everybody, it is Wednesday, July 20th, 2016. I'm just getting back from the clinic. Had a long day there. They did their usual draw blood, do the tests, meet the doctor, tell me a bunch of info, go down and get an infusion, um, and then come home. Now, I was supposed to have a spinal tap today. They moved that till Monday when I had my bone marrow biopsy, my follow-up bone marrow biopsy. And they did that because I've had headaches from the previous spinal tap for 10 days. Um, Only when I'm vertical. When I lay down, they go right away, which is good, but it's still really annoying being laying down all the time. Yeah, or getting up for 10 minutes and doing some laundry, and getting up for 10 minutes, taking a shower, getting up for 10 minutes and doing this. Gets old. Anyway, that's also the only thing I've really had wrong, so no real complaints. It's more just petty annoyances. So I'm doing okay here. I shaved off the rest of my hair. It was had come out to the point where, I don't know, I looked like a weird wild rat with Donald Trump's haircut, and so it was time to take it off. So we shaved it off, and I'm going with this style for a while. Anyway, so I've had a bunch of people asking questions, and I've got some good news. And I'll start with the questions because they lead into the good news. And the questions are: how do you donate for a peripheral blood stem cell transplant? How do you get on the donation registry? And what's the process? So I'd been hesitating to answer. I didn't know how invasive it was. Now I kind of have some input. A friend of a friend, or a good friend's boyfriend, it turns out, has donated recently. And so I'll ask, once I've talked to him in person, I may mention his name, but for now I'm not going to. But he's donated recently, and I also talked to the doctors a bit about it. It's very non-invasive. It's actually very simple. You get flown into a city for a week or so. You spend a day at the beginning and a day at the end in a chair. They hook you up to a machine just like you're donating blood. A little needle goes in, tube goes out, pull the blood out, they filter it for a little bit, and push the blood back into your body. So all they're doing is taking out any cells that look like they have stem properties. I guess you are a little tired afterwards, but that's it. I mean, there's no surgery, nothing. It's just you're hooked up to a blood machine. And that's the donation process. So now how do you get into that? You go to bethematch.org, and you can go there, and they'll send you a little cheek swab. You can swab your mouth. You'll put it in a little vial. You'll mail it back to them, and they'll have you in their database, and they'll contact you if there's a match. Which leads to the next point. So I've been getting some good news this week. The doctors are saying that I'm at least in some form of partial remission. Definitely not normal for an adult to be there at this point this early with this. It's more common in children, is what I was told, or what I read actually on the NIH website. So take that with a grain of salt because I'm not a scientist. Anyway, I'm in some form of partial remission. My numbers heavily indicate that, and they had not been telling me this until this week, but they had been moving up the search for stem cell matches because of this. Potential time frame, if my bone marrow biopsy comes back and I am in enough of a remission, I could potentially be starting stem cell transplant much sooner than I expected. I had been thinking December or a year from now, and it's looking like it could be a month or two from now, which is really scary because it's a very serious procedure with a lot of risks on its own, and a noticeable, there's risk. I'll spare you all the details, but it's not an entirely safe procedure. But they keep telling me that I'm handling treatment as well or better than anyone they've ever had before. And other than my small complaints, I've handled, I've had them say several times they gave the largest dose of chemo they've ever given to anybody. And, I'm coming out with no nausea, no major symptoms other than hair loss and little stuff. So, maybe that's why. I don't know. I don't know why it's happening so quick. But anyway, so that's the good news. I'll know after my bone marrow biopsy next week how far in remission I am and what they're thinking. But potentially one more chemo cycle and then starting prep for a transplant, which is a month or so long. And I'll know more about that next week when I meet with Seattle Cancer Care Alliance, which I've also been told has the highest success rate in the world for transplants. So that's good. Certainly good. Anyway, that's my news. Much love to everybody out there, and I've told a few people this already, and anyway, that's it. That's my update for today. Bye.